This is week 6 of Body by Rings, the end of phase 1, and I'm really excited to share with you guys what progress I've made, the ups, the downs, the positives, the negatives of Body by Rings. For those of you who don't know much about Body by Rings, there are 3 phases. There's the phase 1, 2, and 3. I just completed phase 1. Each phase is 6 weeks long, and they continually get harder and harder with harder progressions, harder skills. So if you want to follow along, I highly recommend subscribing. So let's move on and talk about some of the positives of Body by Rings. And number 1, I would have to say the difficulty of training with rings. Not only is it training your primary muscle groups, it's also training your stabilizing muscles, which we really don't get the opportunity to train unless we're using something unstable. Since I've been training with rings, my body's been forced to grow because of the difficulty of training with rings. The second big positive I have for training with rings in general is the minimal use of equipment. So the only thing you really need is a pair of rings and a place to set them up. For me, that is using a pull-up bar, and then I attach my rings to that pull-up bar, and I can do about 80% of my training just with that setup. I do have to go to the gym and use some other equipment. I use a cable machine, but other than that, that is a very high positive. It's a very low investment to get started with training with rings. And in my opinion, it's the best use of your money for how much equipment you are getting and the many uses you can get with just training with rings. So let's move on and talk about some cons of Body by Rings. And one, something that can hold you back is the price of Body by Rings. I picked it up for around $100. Sometimes it goes on sale so you can get it cheaper, but the price could hold some people back. The one thing I do have to mention is the work that Daniel Vadnal had to put into this program definitely outweighs the price that you have to pay for the program. So you're definitely getting more than the program is worth, in my opinion. This isn't necessarily a con, but this happened to me when I purchased Body by Rings. I thought I was an intermediate when it came to calisthenics, but turns out I'm a total noob with calisthenics. So when I started, I had a very difficult time performing all of these workouts and these exercises. So if you are looking to get Body by Rings, make sure you have a base amount of strength and maybe some previous training with gymnastics rings. Those are some of the pros and cons of Body by Rings, and now let's move on to what I have experienced through my 6 weeks of training so far. Where did I start, and now where am I at currently? So here are a couple videos to show you my progress from week 1 all the way up to week 6. And as you can see, it doesn't look like there's a big difference, but trust me when I say that I have been getting stronger. Here's a question for you guys. Have you seen gains from using Body by Rings consistently? Let me know down in the comments below. The differences from week 1 to week 6 are very minor. You might need to watch those videos a couple times to see what I see, but I see myself as more controlled, and that constitutes to having more strength. I want to be transparent with you guys, and I want to tell you that this journey was not easy. Even though I'm from week 1 to week 6, this has still been very difficult. I've struggled with lack of motivation. I've struggled with not being able to do all the exercises. I've struggled with a lot of things. So keep pushing through those difficulties and those challenges. That way you guys can keep seeing progress throughout your training. If you haven't seen any of my previous episodes of Body by Rings, click on this playlist here. If you guys like this content, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.